Namah Shantaya Tejase. I first of all thank the organizers, particularly Professor Padigar, for inviting me. And I also thank my colleagues for helping me for this presentation. I will begin with today's keynote speaker's views. And that's very true indeed that he said that it has proved impractical in early Indian chronology before the beginning of the practice of reckoning eras which can be converted into the common era. So finding out accurate chronology of the reign periods in common era has definitely proved impractical. And as he said, on the basis of regnal year, it is far-fetched to date these inscriptions. So actually, I am beginning with his quotation. So, as you know, astronomical data is insufficient to date these inscriptions due to absence of any era. And as Professor Hegde pointed out, instead of focusing our studies and discussions on such impossibilities, it would be fruitful if we do what is possible. So I'm going to do what is possible here. This astronomical data available from these inscriptions, though not of much help to date the inscriptions, it throws at least some light on the ancient Indian astronomy and is useful for studying this branch of knowledge. That is for sure. So with this introduction, I begin my paper. Next, please. The early Kadamba inscriptions present a manifold astronomical data. Like the Vakatakas, no specific era is mentioned in these inscriptions, but unlike the earlier, the Kadambas do not give genealogical details of the rulers. So I will begin with some general observations. In most of the inscriptions, the regnal year of the donor is given, and also varied astronomical elements such as the season, name of the month, nakshatra, tithi, etc. They are mentioned but somewhat inconsistently. I mean, not all factors or elements are present in all the inscriptions. So this data like tithi, etc. is not verifiable since, as I said, no specific era has been mentioned. And no specific, elaborate genealogy is also not available in the Kadamba inscriptions. Also, there are no days of the weeks, that is Vara, Somvara, Budhvara, etc. So these names are also wanting in the inscriptions. All the stone inscriptions, including pillar inscriptions, they are undated. So all of the stone inscriptions are undated. Similarly, there is a strange thing, like some kings refer to the regnal year of some earlier king. For example, Ravi Varman's Halsi plate, it mentions Dashami Tithi and 6th Paksha of Hemanta season, and the regnal year is 11. But of course, the grant has been given by Bhanu Varman, brother of Ravi Varman. But the regnal year has been given that of Ravi Varman. Similarly, another example is the charter issued by Mandhatru Varman. Actually, the regnal year has been mentioned that of Priyavrata Varman. So that is regnal year 6 and Purnimanta and Kartika month has been mentioned, but the charter has been issued by Mandhatru Varman and not Priyavrata Varman. So these are few examples of that. Another thing is in a few inscriptions, 2 or 3 inscriptions, wherein name of the month has been given as name of the Samvatsara. I mean, there seems to be a system of naming Samvatsaras, but the names are actually names of the months, like Vaishakha Samvatsara or Pausha Samvatsara, that is mentioned in Mrugesha Varman's one of the plates, Devagiri plates. Pausha Samvatsara has been mentioned. So actually they intend to refer to a Samvatsara and not a month. But the names are found to be of the months. And it is not quite clear what this system is. Now I will present some numbers or some data in numbers. Please. So in all, for this study, I have studied 66 inscriptions. They have been examined. Out of those, 23, that is almost 35% inscriptions are undated. So this is a big number. Some inscriptions, to be precise, 37 inscriptions are dated. I mean, they give tithi or some such elements. There are 2 inscriptions which can be called as dated, but there is no regnal year mentioned there. But all the other factors are there, tithi, name of the month, etc. But regnal year is not present. And there are 4 such inscriptions wherein only regnal year has been mentioned and no other data is obtainable. So this is the statistics, total 66 inscriptions. Now as far as tithi is concerned, there are 39 such inscriptions I have considered for this data. That means 37 inscriptions actually dated and 2 such inscriptions which give some data but no regnal year has been mentioned. So in all, 39 inscriptions which give us some sort of data about astronomy. So out of 39, in one inscription there is no tithi, and varied tithis have been mentioned. Tithis, that is lunar tithis, of course, have been mentioned. Amavasya, Ashtami. There is one inscription, I will talk about that, which mentions Panchadasha and not Amavasya or Purnima. Then there are 18 inscriptions which have been donated on a Purnamasi, that is a full moon day. So 18 inscriptions, a big number. As far as Paksha, that is a fortnight, is concerned, there are 36 such inscriptions wherein Paksha has been mentioned, that is a fortnight, Krishna or Shukla Paksha has been mentioned, or is evident from the tithi, like Purnamasi is of course Shukla Paksha and Amavasya. So there are 36 such inscriptions. In 2 of them, no Paksha, no fortnight has been mentioned, and there is one, the Paksha is not legible there. Then, as I said, there are 18 inscriptions which have been donated on or issued on a Purnamasi. So, Shukla Paksha is mentioned in 28 inscriptions, and Krishna or dark fortnight has been mentioned in only two inscriptions. There are 6 such inscriptions wherein the number appears instead of the name of the Paksha. That means not dark or bright fortnight, but just second, 6th or 8th Paksha has been mentioned. And there is one illegible record there. And in 2 of the inscriptions, no fortnight has been mentioned. Now, nakshatras, there are very few inscriptions wherein nakshatras have been mentioned. There is one wherein Jeshtha, that is Jeshtha Nakshatra, has been mentioned, but this inscription is of suspicious characters. There is one mentioning Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, and there are two mentioning Rohini, including Malavalli inscription, but the other one is spurious. So we can say that inscriptions is not a common thing in these, nakshatras is not a common thing in Kadamba inscriptions. So this is not a general feature appearing in Kadamba inscriptions. Now the name of the seasons, this is really interesting. Out of 39 inscriptions considered here, there are 30 inscriptions, a big number, wherein no season has been mentioned, but there are a few inscriptions wherein various names of rutus, that is seasons, appear, like Hemanta, Grishma, Sharad, Varsha, and there is one inscription which mentions Vishuva, that is Equinox. I'm going to talk about this. Now, I want to discuss a few particular points of interest in detail. Now, my findings are, particular findings are, the months given seem to be Purnimanta, that is ending on a full moon day. And this is not a practice in today's South India, not even in Maharashtra. We use Amanta system of months. But there are two inscriptions of Mrugesha Varman which indicate that the months were Purnimanta, that is ending on a full moon day. That means the first fortnight of a month used to be the dark fortnight, Krishna Paksha, and the second half of the month used to be Shukla Paksha. Of course, this is not today's practice. At least for the last few centuries, I don't know from which time this Amanta system is in vogue, but we use this Amanta system right now. And Purnimanta system is found to be used in the Kadamba inscriptions. I will explain how. Mrugesha Varman's Devagiri copper plate issued in his regnal year 4 mentions 8th Paksha of Varsha season and the full moon day, that is Purnamasi. 8th Paksha, a even numbered Paksha, and a Purnamasi. So an even numbered fortnight naturally indicates the second half of the month. Purnamasi Tithi has been mentioned, which denotes the bright half. Hence, the bright half must have been the second half of the month, indicating a system in which the month is completed on a full moon day, as against today's practice. There is a second charter of the same ruler issued in his regnal year 6, which mentions a full moon day again, and the Paksha given is again even numbered Paksha, 4th fortnight of Hemanta Rutu. These two grants make it clear that the Kadambas followed Purnimanta system for the months. Now, based on the above inference, tithis from other copper plates can be identified. This is my view. For example, Mutturu plates of Shiva Mandhatru Varman of his regnal year 13 mentions Panchadasha Tithi. Panchadasha Tithi, first fortnight, has been mentioned. It can be a full moon day or no moon day, since just number 15 has been mentioned. So if we hold that the Kadambas followed Purnimanta system, then we can conclude that the Tithi is Amavasya and not Purnima. There are 4 other such cases where the season and tithi, for example, Dashami has been mentioned. Though bright or dark fortnight has not been given, the number of the Paksha is given. And from this number, we can state whether it is a Shukla Dashami or Krishna Dashami. Then there is another issue of number of seasons mentioned. So we actually have conflicting evidences in this regard. For example, Mrugesha Varman's Devagiri copper plate is further useful to surmise that there used to be 3 months in a year comprising 3 seasons in a year comprising 4 months in each season. Like 8th Paksha has been mentioned, so 4 months have been considered for this Varsha Rutu. So we can surmise that the number of seasons intended in a year are 3. So there are only 3 seasons. We also find this in one of the Vakataka grants. There has been mention of Grishma season and its 8th Paksha. So it seems that the 3 season pattern do appear in the contemporary records as well. However, there are some problems with this conjecture. The first and the foremost is that names of 4 seasons appear in Kadamba inscriptions, namely Grishma, Varsha, Sharad and Hemanta. There are only 7 out of 39 dated inscriptions which mention the name of the season. So, the data set is comparatively smaller. Thirdly, 8th Paksha has been given in only 1 inscription, that too in a charter issued to the Jainas. Hence, it is probable that the term Varsha mentioned therein refers to the 4-month period of Varsha Vasa and not to the season. That is a possibility. The grant was given at the end of the 4 months in the 8th fortnight on the last day, that is on the Kartika Purnima. On Kartika Purnima, Varsha Vasa ends. So probably that is Varsha Vasa that is intended and not the Varsha Rutu or season. So thus it would be unsafe to conclude that the year was divided into only 3 seasons. In a grant of Ravi Varman extended to the Jainas, there appears Dashami in 6th fortnight of Hemanta Rutu. Now, if we assume 3 season system, then it would be Magha Shukla Dashami. Because 6th fortnight has been mentioned of Hemanta Rutu, so Magha being the 3rd one, so Magha Shukla Dashami. The day has not much relevance in Jaina tradition. But if we assume 4 season pattern, 4 season comprising 3 months each, then it would come to Phalguna Shukla Dashami. And Ashtamika Puja during Phalguna Ashtami to Purnima has been prescribed in Jaina text. So there is some relevance to this grant being given on some kind of ritual. So thus 4 seasons comprising 3 months in each season is also a possible inference. Okay, there is no concrete evidence as such. Now, traditionally, there are 6 seasons in a year comprising 2 months each. And Gudnapur inscription seems to hold the traditional view. It is advised therein that the Vasantotsav should be celebrated either in the month named Madhu, that is Chaitra, or in Madhava, that is Vaishakha. So perhaps Gudnapur inscription holds this traditional view of 6 seasons in a year. So from this discussion, the complexity of the problem is evident. Any conclusion supporting one type of system can be proved incorrect with similar but opposite evidences. It can be said that all such patterns were acceptable and used as per convenience. So that is another possibility. Now, the inscriptions of the Vakatakas in this regard seem to be of not much helpful in this case. Although some of these do mention seasons and the number of the Paksha thereof, similar system. like Panchadasha instead of Purnima or Amavasya. But it is not possible to ascertain whether the bright or dark half is intended. In fact, if the conjecture regarding the Kadamba inscriptions that the months are Purnimanta is correct, then it can be used to determine the Paksha mentioned in the Vakataka grants. So then that will be something else. I mean, in today's Maharashtra, we use Amanta system, but if we apply it to Vakataka grants, the date will be something else. And if we use Kadamba inscriptions and this inference, then the dates will be different even for the Vakataka grants. Next, please. And there is my last point of this presentation. In Harivarman's inscription, Sangodi inscription, Vishuva has been mentioned. The word Vishuva means equinox, and it comes to 22nd September. So 22nd September, Vishuva, that is equinox, has been mentioned, and month is also given, that is Ashvayuja, that means Ashvina month has been given, and it is Ashvina Amavasya. So at least in that grant we can conclude that today's 22nd, the date can be ascertained, and that was Ashvina Amavasya. Now, if we assume that the system was Purnimanta months ending on Purnamasi, then this Amavasya, Ashvina Amavasya, is in fact Bhadrapada Amavasya in Amanta system. Okay, because the Krishna Pakshas differ in Amanta and Purnimanta system. So Ashvina Amavasya is Bhadrapada Amavasya in Amanta system. That means that was a Pitru Paksha. So rituals for the Pitrus or Manas were performed, and this inscription mentions Svakulabhivruddhaye, and the grant has been donated to some Atharva Vedins. So perhaps this has some link, but of course very clear or concrete evidence is lacking. So these are the issues or problems in the Kadamba inscriptions. Thank you.